On a day-to-day the shit change, but you know for the most part nothing ain't different. Sometimes be stuck in my ways, weekend fucked up in somebody's kitchen, sticking my hand down, chilling with the troops and my few cans down, so I walk like Winston. Trust me, I wake up hanging, you hang that I'm leaving this bed, you're kidding. I'm sitting on back in the pad, get deep fried and I smoke some packs of the grass. Put the feet up, kick back and relaxing your best, know I'm sitting on Reilly's Gaff.
Welcome back, troops. We have Fraser Penman. Now, Fraser, you are, just to get right into it,
Let's do it.
hypnotist,
Yep.
hypnotherapist.
Certified clinical hypnotherapist, but yes, let's
there
go.
you go. Safety first, troops. An illusionist. No?
Psychological illusionist.
Oh,
Right. Because we were kind of discussing, we were saying, like, what we were thinking about the nuances that are the differences between
Yep.
like magicians, illusionists, hypnotists, and that. Can you like give us a wee?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you're right, I'm a stage hypnotist, a mentalist or a psychological illusionist, and a certified clinical hypnotherapist and a keynote speaker. So for the corporate world. A lot of people say that I'm a magician. I can't even shuffle a deck of cards. Cannot even shuffle a deck of cards. No. So a lot of people think these kind of amazing predictions and stuff like that I do are based on like a magician's choice, or there's always one answer fits all. It's not at all. So the way kind of mentalism works is all about me forming connections with you and your mind, but not on a conscious level, but more subconsciously, and going through a lot of different things like kind of body language and microfilament movements and kind of communication, because actually not a lot of people realise that communication is made up of body language, tone, and it's actually only 7% of the words that you speak is how you receive information. So it's not so much the stories I'm telling you, but more so the stories that you're telling yourself, and how you interpret this is how you paint your kind of own picture and feelings and behaviour, if that makes sense.
Aye, that makes complete sense. I was thinking there, so see if somebody was acting like, somebody was acting off, would your like predictions be off? Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, not so much, because what you'll find is a lot of people, and I'm going to do something with you in a moment, I will try and tell you, try not make it obvious. Try and think of the most opposite thing. And what you find is that when people try and misdirect you or steer you the opposite way, it actually just highlights the plain answer there and then. So it's almost that kind of guilty feeling. So for example, if I was to... Have you got a pen or a coin or anything?
It's a pen.
This Sharpie.
A pen. Right. Take this lid. Okay, put it in your hands, put it behind your back. Excellent. Now what I want you to do is I want you to do this. Okay, now cross your hands over. Excellent. Now, Evan, what hand do you think the pen is in?
The left, this one.
The left. Okay, open up. There we go. Right, why did that happen? Okay, cross your hands back over again. Now, look at these. Well, to me it's right, but to you it's left. Now, what hand is furthest away from me right now?
This one.
No.
This one. No.
Oh, me?
No,
You?
me.
Right, this one.
Me. So, for example, when you cross your hands, what you're actually trying to do is subconsciously, you're trying to take that left hand and put it the furthest away from me. And then you're trying to block it with your right hand. Now, again, you're trying to hide the obvious choice.
I get you.
So, by looking at that,
Right.
with you hiding it away and actually your eye contact is staring right at your left hand, you're obviously going to be in your left hand, right?
That's
There we
good.
go.
Aye.
So I can do what you can do, basically. I just done it.
So do you just want to swap jobs or something? You want to come on Reilly's camera? No, that's good. I get you. So it's all like you can just interpret things for just watching,
Yeah.
like wee movements and stuff.
And again, which takes away the whole is this magic kind of thing. It's not. I suppose it's magic for the mind, but it's not. I'm not a magician. I actually hate being compared to a magician.
Is that hacky as being a magician? Like, are they the dafties? Like, do you know how?
No, honestly, I wish
like,
I take my hat off to all magicians. They have such amazing sleight of hand and presentation and showmanship. It never interests me, and a lot of hypnotists come from being magicians first of all. I was a hypnotist, and then I went into kind of psychological illusion and mentalism and stuff like that. I've never went near the magic side. I remember spending a week trying to learn how to shuffle cards and cut cards, and I was just playing 52 card pickup, and I just went, that's not for me.
I think magicians are like they're old school, man. They're for like the 1800s and that.
I remember, see, magicians as well, like, they would, like, I wouldn't imagine you would get booked for, like, a young, really, really young kid's party. That's not really the audience, is it?
No, so my insurance in the UK, we have like the Hypnosis Act, and for public shows and stuff, they need to be 18 and above.
Aye.
Now, my content, you can bring under 18s to the show, but they just can't volunteer for insurance
Get them
purposes.
hypnotised, man.
I used to work in education, and the parents used to say to me all the time, "Oh, could you just hypnotise him to do his homework?
Oh,
or could you
the
just
classic.
hypnotise him to behave?"
Aye.
I'm like, "No, your child's just a dick."
But see, magicians, like, they are definitely, like, I remember there was a magician at my, like, wee cousin's, like, 8th birthday party or something, know what I mean? And it's the rabbit and the hat and all this stuff. So that, I think that's just maybe, like, tired out. But see you're saying, like, you sort of, spent some time trying to shuffle cards and that. When did you first get into, like, enjoying magic? Was it from, like, magic and the sort of... I'm using
Back
it...
to the magic thing.
I'm using it as an umbrella term.
Right, okay.
So when you were younger, were you always fascinated by this?
I was always fascinated and inspired by Derren Brown, and there was a psychologist called Anthony Gailey who's also a kind of corporate hypnotist, and I just couldn't believe that these people were doing these outrageous things all at the click of a finger. Like anybody else, I thought it must be actors, it must be stooges. And it wasn't until I started to dive into the kind of neuroscience and the brainwave patterns and how the chemical imbalance works with hypnosis and everything else that I started to understand it, and I found it really interesting. And when I was at university studying to go into education, we learned a lot about kind of child development, and from that fine and gross motor skills and the kind of neuroscience of what happens with the cognitive behaviour, the more you develop and how your brain processes things. And it kind of, when I went to do my diploma in clinical hypnotherapy, there was a lot of neuroscience behind it. And it tied up from what I was learning at university with the child development, and I thought, oh my goodness, this makes complete sense. This is how it works. And I used to work, not now, going by the beach whale image you have in front of you, but I used to be a personal trainer, and I was amazed at how you can have clients come in, not give them any medication, not do anything, but just by speaking to them, because you're not doing the workout for them, but just by speaking to them and getting inside their mindset, you can motivate them to change their life. And I thought, these things add up. And actually, now we actually go in and out of trance between 7 and 10 times a day. We're all hypnotised in a way. So, for example, have you ever got to a bit of information on a paper, read the whole bit of information, got to the bottom of it, and not remembered a single thing you've just read?
Basically, every time I read something.
Yeah.
So books date you.
Example, I do a thing on stage where I can take somebody's shoe off and make it disappear in front of their eyes. That seems quite unrealistic,
nuts.
right? But how many times have you been looking for your phone or looking for your keys, holding your phone or your keys?
On the phone, I've done that before. I've actually said.
How does your brain just completely blank this out? Or how many times have you been on TikTok scrolling all the way down, somebody's sitting right beside you shouting your name but you just don't hear them?
Is it about distraction?
No, so it's all about concentration and focus and eliminating distraction. So that's all it is. So for example, if you hear any rags to riches stories, any entrepreneurs, any successful person that's came from a bit of hardship, how often do you hear them say, I visualise my goals, or I set goals, or my house is exactly how I imagined it would be, because when I was younger, I would draw a picture or take a photo of a mansion, put it on the fridge, and I'd pass it every single day to keep me motivated. Now, hypnosis is eliminate distraction, concentration, and focus. Entrepreneurship, what are you doing? You're not going to the pub with your mates, you're focusing on your business, you're visualising your goals by putting this bit of paper on the fridge. It's the exact same thing. It's just in a different format. We all go through hypnosis and visualization on a day-to-day basis.
Did you say 7 times a day?
It's 7 to 10 times a day is the actual trance period.
When you started talking about these times that you are like in a trance, like I was like, for me, it's probably more than 10.
Is that like as well? Like if you're driving somewhere where you drive every day, and then you get there and you're like, I don't remember any of that.
Absolutely. Have you ever got in your car at the same time, drove the same journey, arrived at your destination, and just been like, as if you've teleported?
As if I don't remember this whole journey.
Do you drive?
Yeah.
What about, have you ever been down the motorway, been driving down the motorway and you've missed your exit?
Aye.
How do you miss your exit? It's a 15-foot sign. What happens is people refer to it as autopilot mode, right? What happens is your conscious mind just goes for a wee wander, your subconscious takes over and just gets you there safely. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, right?
It is mad, because I feel like I'm in that autopilot like most of the time. As I say, like, see, just like brushing my teeth now and like getting a shower and that, I'm probably like that for the first like 2 hours every day. Do you know what I mean? Like genuinely.
Example, visualization. So I just want you to answer very quickly, just off the top of your head. Ready? What's your favourite ice cream?
Strawberry.
Quick. Yours.
Vanilla.
Vanilla. Cone or a tub?
Cone.
Cone. Excellent. How many scoops?
3.
3. 2. What flavour?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Is yours glistening or marbled?
Glistening.
Marbled.
Excellent. Spoon. Are you eating it with a spoon or one of those chocolate things?
Chocolate things.
Spoon.
Excellent. Cool. Now, you have no ice cream in front of you, right? But I bet you could exactly picture that ice cream right now.
Did you see it? I did.
Visualization.
Aye.
Right? Hypnosis. What happened? Did you hear any noises in the office round about you just now, or did everything just kind of start to zone in and all you could focus on was my voice and the ice cream?
I the ice cream and the voice.
You asked me 10 minutes ago before we started this, are you hypnotised? You absolutely are. Can't wait for later on.
Oh my god, there I go. Hypnotised already.
I'm scared.
For the off.
see when you were talking about like it's all about like body language, and I was like, I've got my hands clasped, I'm going to put them down, and I started thinking about what I was doing. I'm trying not to get away.
I think this room suits hypnotisation as well. See with the purple light and like the plants and stuff. It's good, isn't it?
It's a good setting.
It is.
Every hypnosis show, I just put a garden on the stage. It's amazing. It's brilliant.
That's what you need to do, man.
So do you want to talk about like your first show? What was your first show?
Even before that, right? I want to talk about, because I was saying to Jamie in the car, our producer, it's fascinating to me, right? Because now you went for, there was one point in your life you couldn't do this, right? You didn't just, right? You had to sort of learn.
Absolutely.
And then now you can do it, right?
Yep.
But there's a whole point in there where you were like learning to do it.
Absolutely.
Were you like doing this, trying it with people, and it was like nearly working, and was there a grey area, or was it just like a switch?
No. So I kind of just moved out of my first flat, and I was working in education, and it was the first summer holidays. I was absolutely skint, as you do when you first move out, and I had a lot of free time and not a lot of free money. And I just remember watching lots of Derren Brown, and I was just like, I want to give this a go. So I started researching and looking into hypnosis and what it is and how it was done. This isn't the clinical side, by the way. This is completely just the stage side, because they're two separate. They do have crossovers, but just for the breakdown of this conversation, we'll just focus on the stage stuff just now. So I spent probably between 5 to 7 hours a day researching, watching, learning how it was. I bought a few training DVDs, and I must have watched this training DVD hundreds and hundreds of times. And
Where
I remember,
did you get the training CD?
Where did I get
the DVD?
it?
Aye, like where do you? But I've never.
So
seen
I just
that.
researched the hypnotist went onto his website, and he was selling it.
Sorry, I was so intrigued by
I
that.
thought it was like a wee back end shop down the banners or something, and it's just a wee woman in a chair. Like.
Sells plants.
Aye, sorry, on you go. Sorry.
So
The DVD.
The DVD. So I basically learnt this DVD for word in, word out. Didn't have a clue what really I was doing, and I remember I was in my barber's getting a fresh fade, as you do, and some reason hypnosis came up. They were talking about it, and I just went, "I'm a hypnotist." What? And I went, "Oh, I'm a hypnotist." Now, in my head,
And you've never. That's
not
the
a
first
hypnotist.
time.
I went, "I'm a hypnotist," and he went, "Oh, brilliant." He says, "We've always been intrigued by it." He says, "Tell you what, after your haircut, you're going to hypnotise me." And I went, "Oh, aye, sure, no worries." Thinking in my head, "You've made the right Tam Kite this. What you doing?" But anyway, followed the exact same words as what he was doing on the DVD, and he just went to sleep. Just like that. And
That must have been insane, bro.
in my head, honestly, I needed a nappy. It was,
Oh my God.
It was horrendous, because inside of my head, I thought I'd only learned how to put somebody under and briefly bring somebody up, not put any suggestions in or anything. So I'm just like, so he literally went, poof, he dropped, and I was just, everybody was like, "Oh, no way." And I'm just like, "Yeah, deeper again."
I would have been like at your height also. Like.
My ego would have been, after that, I'd have just been like, "Yeah, you fucking all know now."
Plenty more of that.
And then I woke him up, and I was like, "Oh, that's amazing, that's fantastic." And I went home that night thinking, I am a superhero. No, heard the saying, not all superheroes wear capes.
Yeah.
That's
you.
Yeah, that's me. And then after it, I just started kind of trying it and trying to understand it a bit more, because there's a whole lot more to it than just what I was doing on that day. And I hadn't really scratched the surface, but as you do, you just start going out and practicing on people. This wasn't a business or anything at that moment in time. It was nothing. It was just a lot of fun. And people were just getting hypnotised in the pub all the time, because once people have had a drink, they loosen up. They weren't drunk or whatnot, but they were loosening up, and it was working each time. And before I knew it, people were coming to me saying, "Can you come to this birthday party or this Christmas do or whatnot?" And I never done it because I'd never ran a business or whatnot, but my brother runs a martial arts company, and he's very high up in that world, and he was doing an awards evening for his company one year. And I said, could I do a hypnosis show? And my brother's very much, if it's not the creme de la creme, absolutely not. And I showed him some videos and he went, right, fine, but if you make an absolute bomb of it, then you're never coming back. And I was like, right, okay, no worries. And I remember the morning of it feeling sick, absolutely sick.
Was that a big show then?
165 people.
Aye.
A lovely 5-star hotel in Glasgow. And here's
best of the best.
Here's me,
I'm there.
hypnotised people one-to-one. I'd never hypnotised a group before, all at the same time. And I remember reaching out to a couple of hypnotists, just being like, I need help here. I have no idea what I'm doing. I need help. And so anyway, I spent a few kind of weeks, I think about 2 months with somebody, just constantly out of the kindness of the heart. They were really good. So big up, Leo, if you're here. I've not forgotten about you, did. And I remember the morning of the show feeling sick, thinking, can I phone in sick to my own brother? Is that a thing? But anyway, I got up, I'd done the show, people got hypnotised. It was such a rare success, and because the people in that room knew me when I was a martial arts instructor and a PT, and they were seeing me as a hypnotist for the first time because I was no longer working there, I had a full-time job and whatnot, they were just all amazed. And I came back from that thinking, if I can do that and people knew me not as a hypnotist, where could this go? And I'd done a lot of kind of musical theatre and stuff when I was younger, so I was used to being on stage. And obviously losing my confidence with the bullying for many years, it was the very first time stepping on stage where I completely forgot what I looked like, any nerves. It just felt like being at home, and I thought, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
So like addictive for you?
It's the world's best high.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the world's best natural high ever. You'll hear a lot of sports people or anybody that's in an industry. I think all entertainers have a attention seeking inside them.
Absolutely.
They have that attention. They need that
100%.
gratification.
Talking to the guys, man.
Yeah, they need that you're sitting there looking at the lights. Just the 10,000.
That's fucking pathetic.
It's my chin. Just having that appreciation, especially coming from somebody that's had a lot of hardship and negativity towards just being himself. It was amazing just to get that.
Feel fulfilled, kinda.
Absolutely, it filled my heart, and it's been filling my heart ever since.
It's like a massive. It's like the ultimate acceptance. You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
like the ultimate acceptance. Like, and what's the best? I was wondering this, just like visualizing you being on stage and that. What's the best noise you can hear for the crowd? Do you prefer like laughing, or do you prefer like, ooh, that's scared?
I'm away. That's just mental.
I prefer the sound of bums hitting seats because it's more money in my pocket.
That's what it's all about, mate.
No, not at all.
Oh, that's not lose this shit.
My favourite part of the whole entire show is once I wake everybody up, because I leave everybody that takes part in my show with some positive affirmations for going forward for the next week.
Oh, that's nice.
I need that.
And I always deliver a message.
Can you do that for us?
Absolutely. And I always deliver a message at the end about how amazing it is for the boy who once used to walk through the corridors and nobody knew his name to now being standing up here and being accepted. Especially, I love playing gigs in Scotland, and especially in Glasgow and Edinburgh, just where I am more known. It's just like coming home. It's just like, here I am. And when I wake up the volunteers and everybody's got a smile on their face because it's been an enjoyable experience for them, it's totally killing all the stereotypes of, you will regret this, you're going to hate this, and they're smiling, feeling amazing. And these people don't get up on stage. They're not performers. They're not doing this every single day. So for them to stand up and have their moment of enjoyment and fame, and everybody's giving a standing ovation, it just feels amazing.
Sounds to me like a bit of like a psychedelic experience or something. It does. Like
for me, it's like therapy.
Aye.
It really is like therapy. It's kind of went full circle, and just, you imagine going to. I always say to people, see, if you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. I'm retired. I retired. You know, and yes, it's long. Yes, it's hard work, and yes, it's very tiring, but I've got the best office in the world. Who else is going to stand up there and perform to hundreds of thousands of people night and night, visit all these amazing, lovely countries, and being given the opportunities that I've been given just for being yourself?
That's amazing, especially if you've came through bullying where you probably felt that full time. You wish you were anything but yourself, and then now it's actually done a complete flip round. You wouldn't want to be anybody else. I'm interested as well, though. You're saying like Glasgow and you've visited these countries. When did it start really kicking off for you? Was it after that show immediately?
No. So after that show, nothing ever went kind of forward for that. It was always just kind of a dream and a thought. And I was still at university. I was working at the time as an early years education teacher and studying as a working degree to get into primary teaching. So I was working 4 days a week, going to university on a Friday. And this is when the kind of low point hit in me in my life is where I've been... To backtrack a little bit, since about the age of 14, I'd been wearing fake tan makeup and been dyeing my hair. So I'd been bullied from about the age of 8 in primary school. And at this point, I had rocks thrown at me. I'd been attacked by about 14 guys off a bridge at one point. I had hate mail on my phone. And I wasn't being bullied for being fat or being poor. I was literally being bullied for being albino, something I was born with. And if you hear something long enough, you start to believe it. And I remember ages of like 15 and was it? No, it must have been younger than that because I started dyeing my hair at 14. So it must have been like 12 or 13 going to concerts, and somebody threw a drink over my face because they thought I had talcum powder all over me because I was that pale. And it was just getting the bus myself. People would look into your eyes and say you look like a vampire, or people would shout sheep or albino just walking down the shopping centre. It was really horrendous, and it got to the point where I just wanted to fit in. So that's how the makeup and fake tan came about, and dyeing my hair.
So did you dye your hair? So what is your natural hair colour?
This.
And then did you used to dye it like black or brown or something?
Bleach black.
Did
bleach
you?
Black.
Aye.
Every week, bleach black.
As low as could be. I want to dye my hair that colour.
Well, this is amazing. A lot of people are paying for it now. I used to spend about £400 a month keeping up the appearance of tan, everything. It was horrendous. I was driving myself mentally unwell over a period of 10, 12 years without even realising it. And I'd done that show and I had that amazing euphoria moment of completely forgetting about everything. And then I went back to my normal day-to-day life, day-to-day job, really unhappy. It's not what I wanted to do. And I remember I got into education because I felt the system failed me when I was younger because there wasn't that kind of support. And any psychologist or counsellor you spoke to was about ages with your granddad and didn't look as if he'd been bullied a day in his life. So I couldn't really relate to it.
Tell you to cheer up and all that.
It was getting me to write my feelings in colours and stuff. And I just
a lot of shit in it.
No, it's not, and it works for other people. It's just for me, age 10, 12.
You're like, come on, Algin.
How are you feeling? I'm angry. That's good that you're accepted that. Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Right, that's it, it's done. That's you sorted, mate.
Cured. Fuck me, cured.
Troops, Molly's Meals, they're back again with a new menu for this month, so let me just run through it quickly for you. They have Nando's chicken, spicy rice, peas and halloumi, which is a £1 supplement extra, but it's definitely worth it because she gives me it and I fucking love it. The naked burger, potatoes and veg, chicken fried rice with a side of curry sauce, chicken and chorizo jambalaya, which is the fucking best one ever, sweet chili prawns, rice and veg, red pesto, halloumi pasta, and that's vegetarian. For breakfast meals this month, she's got the Biscoff overnight oats, strawberries and cream protein oats, which have not been on it, so I need to try them. Ham and cheese egg McMuffins. No, sorry, that's copyright, and we can't say that. Just muffins, healthy fry up. And then she's got all the main meals that are read out in high protein. So if you don't know about Molly's Meals, I'll tell you about it briefly. So Molly's preparing meals, which is insane. She is preparing them so that you can stay in shape for this summer. So it is the best, hands down the best meal prep I've ever used. No word of a lie, I've used probably, I would honestly say about 5 or 6 in this city of ours. And yeah, it's the best. So get in touch with her, and with Reilly's Gaff you're going to get 2 free breakfast items. So you need to order 5 meals, which will do you Monday to Friday or whenever you want to eat them. 5 meals is the minimum order, and then once you're ordering them, message her saying, I seen you on Reilly's Gaff, can I get the Biscoff overnight oats and the strawberries and cream protein oats, for example. And to order, all you do is message her on Instagram at Molly's Meal Preps. On Instagram, you'll see all the menus there, you'll see all the reviews and stuff, all the lovely stuff. Molly knows what she's doing, troops. Stay healthy this summer, guys. Cheers.
Anyway, so I went back to my day-to-day life. So I was in university and we had to do this presentation which was called What Did Education Mean to You? And I'd done my journey on being bullied and how I wanted to inspire one person and make a difference to one person's life, and that's why I wanted to get into education to start with. And then it hit me in the same week. I kind of had a bit of a family drama. In the same week, I got diagnosed as dyslexic. and it just piled on me that I'd been living this absolute lie for over 10 years, and I was just so unhappy in my own skin. And I'd thought about suicide probably from about the age of 10, but it was just passing thoughts, and it's normal for people to consider that when times do get tough, when we go through ups and downs of the roller coaster of life.
Amen.
And it just came to the point where it was the summer holidays again, and the blinds weren't going up, the bins weren't getting took out, wasn't moving out my bed, and one day was blending into the other. And I always said I wouldn't do anything, but I was that unhappy within myself that I just didn't want to be here anymore. And I remember phoning my mum up saying, in 3 days' time, I'm going to commit suicide. I'm going to drink a bottle of vodka, put a plastic bag over my head, suffocate myself and never wake up. And I don't want you to stop me. Which, for any parent listening to this, is absolutely the worst feeling you could ever go through in your life. And back then, I didn't realise it, but focusing on what I know now about the mind and the brain, it was obviously my cry for help. Because I remember being really angry at my mum, saying, don't phone the police, don't phone MD. I'm telling you this because I don't want to leave a note. I don't want you just to come find me dead in my flat in 7 days because I've not answered the phone. Please respect that this is what I want. Now, that's such a selfish thing because I've now put my parent in an ultimatum like, I'm going to go to prison if I don't stop this because it's also assisted murder. Mm-hmm. And what the hell's going on? Because I was the most happiest outgoing person on the surface, but inside I was absolutely crumbling. And I remember speaking to my brother, and he came on the phone to me and he says, get a grip, you're not depressed. I was like, what? And that shocked me into, how dare you? Like, I've got a plan. Mm-hmm. It's written on the fridge.
It's this big, big meaningful, deep thing for me.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, the rest of the conversation was absolutely fulfilling with love and support. And he said to me, what is it you want to do? And I remember thinking, humming and hawing, like, oh, I don't know. And then it just came to me and I was like, I want to be a hypnotist. And he was like, what? And I was like, I want to be a hypnotist. I missed being on stage, and I loved musical theatre, but I got a knockback for a role one time and I never went back to it. It shattered my confidence. And this was the next thing that gave me the same feeling as what I had when I was 10 years old performing on the stage, just not worrying about anything. And I'd always been fascinated with Derren Brown. I thought this would be amazing. But again, could it be a career? How do you work it? I've got no money to invest in the business. What do I do? And he says, well, why don't you do it? And I was giving him all these excuses. And he says, Fraser, you're giving me a million excuses as to why you're not, but you're forgetting about the most important thing, which is the one excuse as to why you should, and that is your happiness. And then from there, I realised and understood that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. I don't have a magic pill. I'm not, the thoughts and the feelings and the behaviours we create for ourselves is all in here. So I gave myself one suggestion that evening before I went to sleep, and that is that you are enough. 3 simple words. You are enough. And I gave myself that suggestion because for a lot of my life, out with my home life, I was told that I wasn't enough. So I thought, this will be the perfect suggestion. And the next morning, bearing in mind, I had never stepped over the door without makeup, fake tan. I wouldn't go a night out if I had like a wee tiny hair coming through. Seen psychologists, counsellors, everything. Nothing worked. And next morning, I picked up my razor, shaved off all my hair, binned all my makeup and fake tan, went to the supermarket that afternoon, rocking my white hair, and here we are 5 years later with touring the world, doing conferences, headlining the Edinburgh Fringe, doing theatre tours, and
so you hypnotised yourself into acceptance.
Yep.
That's fucking
I
sick.
One positive affirmation and it's changed my life. And I'm not here to say hypnosis is the be all and end all. I'm just saying it's another tool for your toolkit.
That you could,
Do you think as well, you know, you said you do the thing at the end of the show where you're like, I want to leave them with a positive feeling going into that week or whatever. Do you think because of all that happened to you, that's why you want to kind of push that as well?
I feel like anybody with a platform has a responsibility to give something back. And this is my way of giving back. And I've changed my thought process. In fact, I've not changed it. It's always remained the same, to help one person or to give somebody else the motivation. Now, I've got a disability. There's a lot of restrictions and things in life that I can't do. So if somebody sees me up on stage, being me and the best version of me, that might inspire them to do the same. And the amazing thing, whether it's therapy or a show, the magic moment for me is taking people out of their day-to-day worries and stresses, and for them just to escape their normal life and to come along to a show for 1 hour and completely forget about all their worries and just smile and have a good time is an amazing magical moment. And when they're in that moment, they've eliminated all their distractions, they're hypnotized in themselves. So to leave that positive message of inspiration, you just don't know who it could resonate with and what a difference it could make.
No, that's good, man.
I've got a question. Do you think like you need to be a certain type of person to be a hypnotist? Because I think, see, just the way you talk and that, I'm just kind of like...
Well, you telling me it's not in the normal job advert?
Do you know what I mean? But like, I don't know, just like the cadence of your voice and all that, like it all
that's a really good question.
It all kind of suits it.
I think you, the way you naturally talk, I don't know if it's natural or you developed it by watching videos and stuff, but it's just like very like, I can't get lost when you're talking, and I'm like, oh fuck, I need to talk as well, man.
That's exactly what I was just
I get told that all the time. No, this is just the way
That's
I talk.
class. Can we talk about the main man, right? Because I fucking love Darren Brown, right?
Sure.
I used to get so excited at night. I'd be like, oh my god,
Awesome.
he's got his show. The one I was trying to remember them just off the top of my
ruined
head.
for me now, by the way, because I'm now picking it apart, going, I know how that's done. I know
Oh,
how
it's
that's done.
like
I know
two
how that's
behind
done.
the
Give it
curtain.
away? Could you give some of the big ones away?
Absolutely not.
No.
We as mentalists and hypnotists, we have very closed.
A union?
I'm
A secret oath?
I'm sure you've heard of the magic circle.
Aye. Is that a thing?
Is that real?
Absolutely.
And do you need to like agree that like, see if somebody does
there's
come out and
contracts, aye.
see if somebody does.
Is there?
There's contracts, and you sometimes things to know the method for stuff or how things done. Thousands.
Mate, because there's a magician that was on Duncan Trussell's podcast. It's one of the midnight gospel things. It's an American podcast, and there was a magician on that, and he was just giving out all these mad secrets kind of thing all about the magic circle.
You can go on YouTube or wherever you want to go, and you'll find that you'll get very street level stuff, but for the mentalism, there's no really method for mentalism. You'd need to go. So I studied like body language, and you need to then. It's very similar to almost to what detectives and the CIA and a lot of that is people profiling and stuff. That takes years of practice and identification. Now, of course, cool. Of course, there is things going on that nobody knows about and whatnot. But as far as hypnosis, there's no secrets. I can tell you everything you want to know and how I do it in hypnosis. That's not a problem.
Aye.
And this is the difference between myself and a magician. A magician has secrets in about 10 different pockets, and all the rest of it, I don't.
So like you
can ask me anything on hypnosis, and I can tell you exactly.
no,
what
like
it's
see just
mentalism as well.
Do you remember the one Darren Brown done, right? And I just thought
Sure.
this was fucking insane, where he got somebody to like ready to kill someone. Do you remember that? He got them to the top of a building and was like, "You're going to push this person off." Is that because I couldn't remember any
That's
other ones?
hypnosis.
But that was a state of hypnosis that full time, or like certain points.
It is, but what you don't realise is before anything's put on telly, there's applications of hundreds of thousands of people, and there's a massive testing period. So you're analysing and breaking down the most susceptible person, the most person that lives that lifestyle. There's a lot of psychological stuff going on in the background. A lot of people say to me, is hypnosis mind control? It absolutely is not. Now, you'll see very commonly on stage, I will give a suggestion, and if people do not want to follow it, they will not follow it. What's looking at these programs is very different, because you're like, he's just made him shoot him. Yes and no is the honest answer. It's a very grey area. And a lot of the time, I don't always understand what hypnosis is either.
That's not good.
It's not been completely solidified at what it is. There is still grey areas with it, but all we do know is that there's definitely a chemical imbalance that happens in the brain to make things work.
Right.
Again, there's a thing called the Hypnosis Act. I have a list of things that I can and cannot do for that reason.
Is that law?
Law. Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like, surely. Because I said to Jamie, how long do you think the world would last if everybody had the ability to hypnotise people?
I always tell people, so If I could make you do anything, do you think I'd be sitting here, or do you think I'd be taking you to an ATM with your PIN number?
Yeah, I know.
So obviously I'm here, so that is impossible.
Is that impossible? Could nobody make you do something you don't want to do?
A dirty hypnotist.
Question. We'll go on to that in a minute. By the way.
Oh.
Question. Would you like to give me your PIN number?
No.
Okay, will never happen. Would you like me to give you your PIN number?
No.
If you had sat here and said yes, then it's possible. But that's because you've wanted to. If you sat here and told me no.
So that's good to know, because we were saying that the world would last about 6 days if everybody could
6
hypnotise
days?
everybody.
I was like, some bad eggs would get a...
Aye, because you just go up to something and go, here mate, go and shoot him, don't like, do you know what I mean?
And then steal the money, then give me it, and then get rid of the gun.
And then somebody's behind you with a gun, and then it's a guy who's controlling him.
Because I was thinking there must... See
You
even
just have great imaginations. Hypnosis can be so fun with you.
Oh mate, oh, no.
As long as we don't say like any racial slurs or anything,
Don't put any of that in our mouth.
don't feed us with that. So you're saying like some people aren't, so you like do a wee process where you're like, right, is this person susceptible to be hypnotised?
So everybody can be hypnotised.
Right, so is there people, have you done a show and got someone on stage and they've just been like, you're no getting me, mate?
Well, so
Let's talk about disaster classes on stage.
So you wanted to know some behind the scenes secret stuff, so let's talk about it, right? So everybody can be hypnotised, but to what degree? Okay, now I spoke about things on a day-to-day level, about how we all are hypnotised. We're all born that way. It's all behaviours that we learn and whatnot, okay? Remember, for a show, I'm looking for the top of the top. I'm not just looking for people who can be hypnotised, but people who have great imaginations, are very outgoing and whatnot. And you might not need to be an outgoing person, but maybe you're the type of person that once you've had a drink in you, you're the first one on the dance floor, you know? So there's no set type.
Pop my boogie.
I'm looking for the top 5% in the room, okay? Now, remember, I've got a room full of a couple of hundred people, okay? You're easily going to get 30 to 40 great 5% in that room. But let's break it down, okay? So I'm doing the Edinburgh Fringe. Tickets are already on sale. How many months is that before the show?
I don't know, it's like August or something.
August, right? So it's a good 3, 4, 5 months before the show. So the hype starts to build. Oh, this is happening, okay? Then what happens is people take time out of their busy calendar to come along and see you and spend their hard-earned money. Now, you're not going to do that unless you have an interest in what you're going to see, correct? So the interest, the want, it's already started to build. You turn up in the night, 50% of your audience are there because they're interested in hypnosis, they want to see it, they're curious. The other 50% want to be hypnotised but aren't too sure. I come on stage, I talk about what hypnosis is and what it isn't, and that there's no swing and watch, and that it's not mind control, and that I don't use chickens in my show, only ducks.
Fuck. Ducks.
So I completely eliminate those fears of whatever they were worried about. They wanted to be hypnotised, but whatever they were worried about that was going to stop them, that's now went away.
Everybody's susceptible now.
Now what happens is I then ask for volunteers. People always say to me, I get messages all the time, can you pick my pal? No, I can't. I don't pick anybody. I don't use any actors. I don't use any stooges in my shows. I ask who wants to come and volunteer. People come up on stage. When they come up on stage, they have signed a subliminal contract that says, I want to be there. Because I've not made them come up. They've chose to come up. I then do a psychological process to find out who's going to be really good. And then that's who I use in the show. So once I give the suggestion, you're gone.
But
you're gone
before you know it. You're gone before you know it.
You're gone. But if you think about it, people only see the bit. They don't see the whole build-up process of, I want to be here, I want to do this, this is really exciting. I can be the best hypnotist in the world, but if you don't want to be hypnotised, I'll never hypnotise you.
So do you think like the worst way to do hypnosis would be like on the street? Like, you could be an on-the-street hypnotist because that's just normal people walking by. Have you done that?
Yeah, done it.
And you hypnotise people just like...
Go up to a group of people, hey guys, I'm a mentalist and hypnotist, do you want to experience hypnosis? If they say yes, then people will be getting hypnotised. If they say no, cool, have a great day.
Aye.
Is it harder? Well, you said, like, say some, because I seen a question which we'll get on to later and for our Patreon.
These questions from the fans.
They're good, by the way, they're good, but they'll be on Patreon, so you need to sign up and see that.
Look into my eyes, not above the eyes.
Someone said, have you ever hypnotised someone while they were on a psychedelics? And does that make it harder?
So, like psychiatric drugs? No, not allowed.
Like psychedelic drugs, like
even
acid
like
or something?
LSD or mushrooms or anything like that?
No. So there's a couple of things, and I explain this in the show. Can't hypnotise anybody that's under the age of 18 at a public event. Private function's a little bit different, but I just don't for safety wise. Can't hypnotise MD under the age of 18. Can't hypnotise MD that's pregnant. Can't hypnotise MD that's bipolar. Can't hypnotise anybody that has neck or back pain or been in hospital in the last 6 months. And you can't hypnotise anybody that is stoned, very drunk, or on any psychotic medication, because it will just be like another day to them.
Just be hypnotised.
No, but I feel great now. I feel normal.
A lot of people say to me, I don't want you to make me look stupid. I'm like, you don't need me.
Mate, see when you hypnotise us, it's gonna just be like our solo episodes or a deep fried or something.
I know.
That's just like that's the common.
I know. I want to talk about your shows, right? So what are some of like? So where have you performed outside of like Glasgow and Edinburgh? Where have you been?
So last year I was out in St. Louis, Missouri, in America. I was invited to go deliver some keynote presentations there and actually present at a hypnosis conference. So they bring in expert hypnotists to teach other hypnotists. Oh. So I was teaching
apprentices.
No. Some
just
amazing,
they're just like
some amazing hypnotists were in the room, new and guys that have been in the industry, but of course. A lot of hypnotists are of the older generation, and I'm a little bit off the wall, so I'm a little bit different. And I'm Scottish. Who doesn't love a Scottish accent? However, when I go to the States, I must talk like this. So I was delivering a presentation on how to build an unbelievable stage show. And a lot of difference from a lot of hypnotists is my show starts even before I walk on stage. There's some stuff on the big screens for audience interaction, and I don't know if you've ever seen a hypnosis show, but you have now if everybody just bees very quiet and you have the droning music and the long, I'm like, make as much noise as you want. I'll hypnotise people in 6 seconds.
Try and ruin it. I dare you.
My actual induction process is just as entertaining as the show, which is really cool.
So there's no like, everybody shut the fuck up.
Nothing at all. I remember hypnotising somebody in a nightclub one time. Brilliant.
That's a very Scottish show, I think. Like the Scottish hypnotist is the one. That's like,
see that bongo's bingo? You could would you take that booking?
I spoke to one of those guys before.
Did you?
I spoke to one of them. Luckily, they're really busy, but I dare say I'll get in touch with them very soon.
Aye, that would be good. By the way.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be on the tables with all the lasses.
Cutouts of Philip Schofields in that.
There we go, man. Manscaped. They are shaving pubes. Well, they're no shaving them. You're going to need to shave them. But they'll send you the kit for it. Now, Manscaped have been sponsoring us for a while. We're very grateful. And their kit changed my balls' lives. Honestly, my balls have thanked me every single day that I've got up. You know, I just feel more aerodynamic, more fresh, more clean. And you can feel like that too. So they've got the Lawnmower 4.0, which is skin-safe technology. It's designed not to nick. And you don't want a nick in your balls. There's other places you take a nick. I'd take one on the forearm. Hell, I'll even take one on the collarbone before I take a nick in the balls. So they're looking after you there. It's waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. It's got a wee light on it. Fantastic. If you order the package, then you're going to get that. You're going to get a nose and ear trimmer, the weed whacker. You're going to get ball toner, ball deodorant, mats so that you can shave outside of the shower and it catches all the hair. Troops, it's fantastic. They're going to throw a travel bag in as well. And much, much more. So, if you want to be fresh this summer, pube free, www.manscaped.com/Reilly's Gaff and get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. So if you're listening to this anywhere in the globe, you're going to get free shipping. So go get that deal, troops. That's 20% off, code Reilly's Gaff. Cheers.
So what was your question? I forgot your question.
Just some
the show.
Where you've been and like what some of maybe your favourite moments or what you've made people do that you're just like, oh, fucking hell.
So
I've done myself there.
So I was delivering a presentation in St. Louis, Missouri at this conference, and then I was delivering another presentation to hypnotherapists. Now, in the hypnosis world, it's normally stage hypnotists over here and clinical hypnotherapists over here. I am both. So I wanted to bridge that gap and teach hypnotherapists who have maybe been interested in stage hypnosis or stage hypnotists that maybe want to build a clinic and start running clinics as a clinical hypnotherapist, how you can take stage techniques, apply them into the therapy room, which ultimately lead you to spending more time doing the therapy with your clients, less induction time, which leads you to quicker results, which leads you to more clients through the door, which means more profit and stuff like that. So also, if you think about it, I'm doing a stage show to 500 to 1,000 people. You wouldn't believe that I don't advertise for hypnotherapy. I just get messages. I don't have a website. I don't advertise. I don't pay for any posts, and my diary's constantly tipping over because people buy people. People know my story. They hear what I do, and then they find out, oh, you're fully insured. You've got a diploma. You studied this for 2 years. You're a certified clinical hypnotherapist. Could you help me for this? Yes, I can. Absolutely. So, St. Louis, Missouri. Then I went and done shows. Have you ever heard of after prom or grad nights in America? This is wild, by the way. So anybody who isn't aware of this, let me just break this down for you very quickly. So an after prom or a grad night is basically they have prom season, and they lock the school in from midnight till 5 in the morning, and they have like massive bounce houses and games and all that. And at the end of it, their headline thing is a hypnosis show. So all these hypnotists get booked for these seasons, for these shows, right? And you can be anywhere from like a theatre to a stage to a running track to a gymnasium. It's the most craziest thing ever, right? And I remember going over to America, and the conference person says, let me put you up for some grad and prom shows. I'm like, sure, why not? This will be fun. People in America are so easy to hypnotise. Ridiculously easy.
They're permanently hypnotising.
They're the dummies, bro.
And I just remember I'd done 3 shows in one night, 12 a.m, 2 a.m, and 4 a.m. And then the very next day I was up on a panel presenting at the conference again. It was just the most wild experience
It's like a
ever.
rock and roll lifestyle, hypnotising people.
We're driving like 4 hours between these different venues. It's mental, getting changed at the back of a car.
Life on the road, baby.
Oh, honestly.
Got the old band back together.
That was super, super fun. Mental. And there's a massive conference in Vegas called HYPNOTISED Live. Which I'm not going to this year, but I'm going to go to next year. There is one similar in the UK.
Can you go if you can't hypnotise people?
Absolutely.
As a fan?
Oh yeah, of course you can.
Imagine
just
us going there.
So it's like, remember if we hold stuff in the SCCC, like
a convention,
the wedding show and stuff like that.
We'll go to Vegas fan.
How much a ticket? How much we talking?
Oh, a couple £100.
Jamie, get my wallet.
Listener taking the visit.
Just pay yourself dividends off the show. You'll be fine.
So, in fact, you've been on a few podcasts, haven't you?
I have, yes.
So, and you just hypnotised Ravy Davy, 5-0, they've both been on here. What was that like? Tell us about that.
So about last Tuesday the 2nd of May, I took 25 of Scotland's biggest influencers to the Crowne Plaza Hotel for a secret filming. And I demonstrated some mentalism and hypnotised everybody from like Kerry Roma to Sully, Ryan Sullivan, Ravy Davy, 5-0.
It's an eclectic
we had
bunch,
drag
innit?
queens in there. We had Littlest Chicken, the musician. We had all sorts. Rachel Spicer, Amazing Blocker, Emma Cassidy, Shannon Henderson. I'm going to get into trouble because I'm going to forget names here. Lindsay, we had...
Creme de la creme.
Yeah, we had everything from models to musicians to Smile and Talia, the guys at Smile and Talia who give you the most amazing smile. I'm going there this year, so that's a good thing. Just the most amazing, incredible bunch of people. And for me, it was very overwhelming for me because as somebody who... I look at these people and I think that's the popular crowd in school. But oh my goodness, just the amazing, lovely, positive response I had. And they were all fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We had people being monkeys. We had somebody being a bee, pollinating everybody. Just running about. I was blowing people's mind. There was a point where I had a drawn and I was blindfolded and I got a row of people to block me and I was back to back with somebody else and I put markers in front of them and I had markers in front of me and they would pick up any marker they wanted and coloured anywhere in their picture and not tell me the colour or anything like that, and I would just speak to them, and by the end of it, our drawings matched exactly the same. Amazing telekinetic, telepathic stuff as well. So
can we do that?
It was just the most... You try to get your money's worth today. It was just the most surreal experience, and everybody afterwards they were just raving about it. I think we're going to set up a premiere once I get all my footage back. I'm going to set up a premiere. You guys actually get tagged in to come do it, but because we're at the podcast, we get tagged in. I've seen Voodoo slightly going, It's all right.
No, it's penciled in, bro. Don't worry.
And I started this, and I originally wanted 5 influencers.
Get 25.
And I ended up with 25. I ended up having to say, it was horrible. I ended up having to vet people like, what's your platform? What's your platform? It was
Many
horrible.
followers.
And I had to turn around and say no to a couple of people.
Did
but
you
it
try and
just-
get like a good mix of like people that do different things so you're catching a big kind of...
Well, to start with, I just wanted anybody who was up for it.
Aye.
And then what would happen is the influencers are obviously, they all network with each other, don't they? And speak to each other, and they said, I'm going to ask this person. And I couldn't believe some of the massive names. Some people had like 8.4 million followers on TikTok and 300,000 on Instagram. There's me just creeping up my wee 5,000, you know? So it's just, but for me, I post to put stuff out there. I'm a terrible businessman. I'm a great performer, terrible businessman. I don't care about how many likes I get in a post. I don't care how many followers I have. I understand that is a part of the business to help you grow and whatnot, but I honestly... I've had a video that's had 800,000 views with over like 72,000 likes, and I've had a video that's got 13 likes.
Mm-hmm.
They 2 videos are just as important to me. So I just put it out there. But oh my goodness, I can't wait to see the content. There was, Reilly Davis doing backflips off tables, and 5-0 was trying to match him. It was just...
Do you know what's amazing
I
about...
thought I was going to get sued. I hope I've got a good editor, that's all I'm saying.
Do you know what's amazing about they two, right? I seen you, like Ravy Davy and 5-0, I seen you talking about it, saying we had Ravy Davy doing backflips, then 5-0 didn't want to be outmatched, so he done one. And the amazing thing is, I was like that. I don't even know if he means they were hypnotised or not. You know what I mean? They would just do that, no hypnotised.
Well, the amazing thing is when I approached Ravy Davy and I spoke to him, again, obviously you've got this persona online, such a lovely, genuine, heartfelt guy, and he was just like, I've always wanted to do this. What are the odds that you've just approached me for this? I wanted to be hypnotised for years. My missus wouldn't let me. She's getting told, she's getting a yellow card, I'm coming. And he's like, oh, can I bring my pal 5-0? And then I was like, aye.
100%.
And I was like, at this point we were really strapped for numbers, and I was like, to my business manager, I was like, can we squeeze another 2?
Big 5. Big 5 was hard to squeeze in anywhere, man. He's fucking massive.
Oh, I'm 6'5". My goodness, this man
He is a fucking tank.
He's just built like a god.
He was sitting in that
man.
He was sitting in a chair. See that chair? He was sitting in it. It looked like Buddy fucking L5.
I turned around and he was lying under a chair at one point during the hypnosis demonstration. I was just making people relaxed, and somehow he just camped out a 10 over a chair.
5 was unbelievable.
And he woke up and he was just like, why am I in a hut?
Mate, this just sounds like a gaff at like 4 in the morning.
I
or
know.
something, 5-0 in the flare. Like, where am I?
You should take the bookings, like people that have been drinking that for days, like get a hypnotist up. That would be amazing. How easy would it be? Right, so back onto hypnosis. So let's just dive deeper into it, right? Let's kind of lay it out there for people.
Sure.
Is it obviously, I mean, you've explained it, it's real, but break it down for us a bit.
So a lot of people ask me, is hypnosis fake? Absolutely. Been faking it and not being caught for the past half a decade. No, I'm kidding on. It's absolutely real. And a lot of people, when they're being hypnotised, say to me, do I go unconscious? Do I go to sleep? Because we use the word sleep as a kind of trigger. Couldn't be further away from the truth. Hypnosis isn't what you think it is. It's what you think it is.
Right.
Right? Now, explain that in a way as in hypnosis for you will be different for hypnosis with you. And I find this, that when I've been hypnotising people, they say to me, I didn't feel any different, and that's totally common. You will hear everything around you. You will hear everything that's going on. You're not going to go unconscious. You just almost, there's lots of different brainwave patterns, and have you ever been in that kind of daydreamy state just before you're going to sleep where you can hear everything going on around you, but you're just quite focused and feel relaxed? That can happen for some. Other people can not feel any different, but they said, I'm aware what I was doing, but it just felt right. Now, for example, in hypnosis, I can't make anybody do anything that's not mind control. I can't make them do anything they don't want to do. So, for example, if you were hypnotised and I said to you, go walk out in front of that car and get ran over, your conscious mind would kick in and say, that's such a bad idea, don't do that. And you wouldn't do it. However, if it's something light-hearted and fun that's not going to cause you any damage, injury or ill health, then because your mind has 2 parts, your subconscious and your subconscious is so much stronger than your conscious. That's why a lot of people fail on diets, because they see a bit of cake and your subconscious is going, oh, you love a bit of cake, go on, just have a bit of cake. Before you know it, you've ate half a cake.
I do love cake.
Cake's
Cake's
good,
nice, right? So
Could go a cake right now, actually.
It's the same. Well, you might be eating one. You might be.
Imagine he just pulled one at his hat. That would be fun.
Magic trick.
Velvet cake.
Fucking hate that magic so bad. Hate it. But yeah, it's don't expect anything.
Aye.
Don't
I mean, now
expect
you're
anything.
saying there about like when you're falling asleep and you're in that kind of half. Sometimes when I'm in that kind of stage, I just randomly say words in that. Like I'll just be like, oh, and I'll have conversations and I don't remember.
I'm going to
them.
explain. Well, I'm better at this now, right? But I'm going to explain my psyche to you so you can understand what's my brain's like, right?
Perfect.
So see how you're talking about when you're falling asleep, right? And you're like at that state where you're like nearly sleeping, but you're very relaxed, but you're awake, but you're in that sort of grey area. For about 3 years, I would say in my head, but you're going to fall asleep now. Am I asleep? I wonder if I'm asleep yet. That's and then that would keep me up.
Yeah.
Is that somebody that's like
Same for hypnosis.
fighting, like letting go of their consciousness?
Yeah, same for hypnosis. A lot of people will say to me, I really want hypnotised. And they'll be sitting there, listen, because all I say to people is focus on what I'm saying. It's simple instructions. Nothing's difficult about it. And if you follow it to the T, then it will work. And a lot of people say to me, I was trying, but it didn't work. And I said, aye, but you opened your eyes and looked around the room to see what everybody else was doing. I didn't ask you to open your eyes. So you're now not following the instructions.
Follow instructions.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're distracting yourself. Or people will sit there going, I must get hypnotised, And you're so busy telling yourself you must get hypnotised that you've missed 3 lines of what I've said to help you get hypnotised. So if you just literally, I tell people, don't expect anything. I will take good care of you. I will not do anything to you that you would regret or damage your brand or your image in any way or your own self-morals. You're not going to tell me your nudes. You're not going to tell me your PIN code. You're not going to reveal any deep, dark secrets because your conscious mind kicks in and says, I don't want to share any of
That's
that.
a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
So you're a bit more ethical than Darren Brown. He made somebody fucking kill somebody, basically, man. Like, how's that guy going to get a job now?
We say this, right, when I do TV work in a couple of years' time. We'll be back to this podcast. We're like, he's full of shit.
See the new Fraser? See the new Fraser Penman? He's making that guy sleep with his cousin and recording it.
He's gonzo hypnotist.
Don't get me wrong. In the early days, there was some fun stuff in my mates
at
that will
parties and
never be disclosed.
See,
but it's hilarious.
What you were saying about a wee kind of dip into your psyche, I'm going to say like the same time when I'm like that half sleeping way, I listen to sleep casts, right?
Sure.
And there's one called Rain Day Antiques,
Right.
and
I
it's
know
like,
it, I know it.
mate, do you know what?
That
It's
is
like
so good.
it's like you're walking along and you see a little cozy antique shop. It's open 24 hours, not right?
You must have
And
drifted
you
off
walk
already,
in,
man.
and then it describes everything in the shop and that. I have dreams about me and him or me and my bird being in the antique shop and that. Like I've had.
What did you buy?
Like I was just walking about and then there's like a wave coming by and all that and it's just weird stuff. But I mean,
Did you
my
buy-
subconscious is so tethered to my conscious,
Yeah.
like it just flows in and out.
Did you buy anything at the antique shop?
I think once I bought one of the boats that was in a jar. You know what I mean?
Oh, I one of them,
An
aye.
antique boat and a boat.
Did you buy?
A boat and a bottle.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
Oh,
I
a
know
bottle? I thought you said a bowl.
No, a boat and a bottle.
Was it just the boat and the bottle that you bought?
I think
It
so.
must have been a week before payday or something, wasn't it? Skin.
Right, that's what it is. But it was about $7,000 or something.
Rattle in his pocket.
Just adding on zeros every time he tells the story.
Paying in pennies and that.
Oh, amazing. Right, so should we get up to some...
Aye, let's fucking
Yeah,
do
so
it.
what you don't know actually is I've been planting subliminal messages with you guys since the moment we started talking. So this is going to go really well, okay?
I say that when I'm getting.
No, I know. So who are we going to use, Evan or Jamie?
Use Evan.
Did you say we need to... Jamie, you say we need to switch seats or
No,
something?
no, not right now. Stay exactly where you are.
Oh,
I'll,
right.
I'll let you know exactly what's going to happen and when
Right,
it's going to
Jamie
happen.
first.
Do you first? That's the best offer I've had all week. Okay, so I want you to... Are you left or right-handed?
Right.
Right-handed. I want you to place your right hand just out like that for me. Okay? Not shaking, just place it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to give you something. Okay? But I don't want you to see it and I don't want you to see it. I don't want anybody else to see it, okay?
Do you want me to see it?
Is that a spider?
Close your hand.
I don't
Close your hand nice and tight.
Right.
Okay? Keep it there.
Right.
Hold that there. Now I want you to put what I've gave you into your pocket without looking. Keep your fist closed. Put it into your pocket. Don't bring it out. Don't touch it.
See if this is a spider.
Good. That's fine. Okay. So you said you're right-handed, yeah? I want you just to give me your right hand and hold my hand here. Yeah. Just close. Grip at it. Okay. I want you to look at here up here and just close your eyes now. Close your eyes now and just focus on exactly what I'm saying to you. I want you to think of a colour. What's the first colour that comes to your mind? Go.
Green.
Green. Okay, cool. Excellent. Let go. Okay, and that was a free choice, yeah? Keep this. Keep that onto there. Okay, cool. Now, do any of you gamble?
I'm trying to know.
Aye, we'll
But
try
aye.
if we have it, we'll do it.
So,
I will if you will.
What you want to bet on?
in a way, we all gamble. We gamble through life, especially in business. We take. Have you ever heard of people taking educated risks? Okay, to try and have the bigger payoff or whatnot, and it relates to a kind of belief system and how much we believe in ourselves. And I want to put that to an experiment today, especially for me. We were talking about communication earlier on, and communication is built up through tone and body language, and only 7% of the words that we speak. And right now we have been sharing a connection for the past 50 minutes in this podcast. So I'm hoping that we've connected not on a conscious level that you would be aware of, but on a subconscious connection that a moment of magic might happen. Okay, so we're going to put that to the risk, but I want to test your belief system. I want to test your thought process. Remember with hypnosis, I was saying to you, you need to eliminate the distraction. I want to try and distract you right now. Okay. So I have some money on me. £20.
That's the bet.
Higher or lower?
Lower.
Now, believe in yourself. Really think about it, because this is for you. This money's for you.
Right.
If this goes well, higher or lower?
Lower.
You sure?
Yeah.
Let's ask your friend, higher or lower?
Higher.
Higher. Do you want to believe in your connection and your friendship with your friend, or stick to all by yourself?
I'm going to go with
You're
my
going to
bro.
go with your friend. Okay. Let's add more. 10. Count it up as we go. So we have
Right, so
20,
30,
30,
40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, 120 bucks.
That's of my own money. Okay? If I'm wrong, you take that home with you.
Right,
If I'm right, I get to keep it.
right.
Okay? Now,
It's on.
it's a gamble in life. Okay? I told you I had the prediction earlier on, right? Inside this purse, open it up at the top thing, you'll see 4 poker chips in the top. Okay? They're all different colours. Don't bring them out. But in fact, you can bring them out if you want to, okay? And look inside the purse, make sure there's no hidden pockets just at the top or whatnot, because only you're going to be handling this, so I want to make sure that you're comfortable with it. Just in the top.
Oh, sorry.
Just in the top.
No secrets.
Okay, cool. Put all the 4 poker chips back in. Okay. I want you to hold the bag, shake them up. Okay. I want you to put your hand inside and hold on to one poker chip without looking at it. Okay. And just hold it, don't bring it out yet. Would you like to use that poker chip, or would you like to change your mind?
I'll keep with this one.
Okay. Do you want to ask your friend again?
What do you think, bro?
I honestly was thinking you should switch it, mate.
Switch it?
I was thinking switch,
I
but
want this to be completely fair, that I'm not influencing
I
you
know,
in any way. This is why I'm using it for the both of you.
I was thinking switch
Right,
it.
you think switch?
I was
right,
thinking
I'm
switch,
gonna
but-
switch for the one bottom left, right?
Right, okay, I like that one.
Right.
Okay. Pull out the poker chip that you have. Okay. And that was a free choice.
Yeah.
Okay, put the poker chip down. Now, bring the other 3 poker chips out to make sure there's no duplications or anything else. And there's definitely 4 different colours of poker chips in there.
Yep, we've got red, white and blue, green and white, and my one was blue and white.
Okay, excellent. So you've picked the blue and white one, and they are the only. There's no other poker chips in
No,
that,
there's
correct?
nothing else in it, bro.
So that was a free choice. And at the start, for example, if you were holding a different poker chip, you would have came out with a different colour. Absolutely. Now, remember I was talking about how people and humans have kind of predictable behaviours of predictable patterns of behaviour, and the more you try and steer away from something, the more obvious it is. Turn over your bit of paper. You chose green, which, if you follow Scotland, is the complete opposite to blue.
Aye.
But really, that is forming a connection with me so that I know exactly which colour you're going to end up with. I gave you a prediction earlier on, didn't I?
Aye.
I gave you a poker chip. What was the poker chip I thought that you would pick?
Oh no!
So
Mate,
thanks so much for
fuck, it
playing
was
it. I'll
blue.
take my
Fucking
money
good,
back. That's
mate.
been awesome.
Oh
That was
man,
fucking good, by the way.
that was fucking what the
Salty.
mate, because
And you could have changed your mind. You could have ended up with a
But
different
mate,
prediction.
but that
could
was
have
both
no-
of us, mate.
but you could have no switched as well. You could have been like, I'm
I mean,
sticking.
I could have been holding that. Fuck. Do you know what I mean? And then
What
he's
the
like, no,
fuck
you should
just
change.
happened?
Awesome.
I
That was
enjoyed
good
that,
fun.
mate. That was really good.
You got your thing, I'll put it back. So,
Aye, sorry, mate.
so-
Aye. So have you got 2 of every one of them?
No, that's it. That's it. 4 poker chips, isn't it?
That's mad.
That's it.
Fuck,
mad.
how did that happen?
Nothing else?
That
Check
is
my pockets, check
amazing,
anything
man.
you want,
Aye,
there's
that's
nothing else
cool,
there.
mate. That's really cool. I like that.
Oh,
So, now that that's all out the way, I think it's time to get hypnotised.
Oh, fuck. Shit, forgot.
already?
Right, so are we done with the paper?
Absolutely done with the paper.
Right, guys. It says green on it.
Oh, what the fuck? I feel like my brain just got fucked.
You just fucked my brain in the ass, bro.
So there's one thing you can take away from that, and it's believe in yourself. I believed in myself, and the odds were stacked against me. So
Yeah.
anybody watching this, believe in yourself and see what you can achieve.
You can do anything.
Take that blue chip.
You can win that
Yeah, and if
120.
you're going to the casino, pick blue.
Pick a blue chip.
So what's going to happen is we're just going to do some visualization exercises. I don't want you to think about anybody else in the room. And again, if this doesn't work, we can just cut it out and it never happened. All right?
Okay.
Right.
But remember, just if this goes wrong, it's got nothing to do with me. You've got it wrong.
That's your fault.
That's how you should start every show.
Gaslighted.
If anything goes wrong, it was your fucking fault, right? I've done this so many times. If you fuck this up for me, I will fucking kill you.
I do a lot of this stuff at the start of the show, similar to that stuff I've done with you, kind of mind reading and whatnot. And I always say at the end of it, like, now if this goes wrong, and there's a theatre of 1,000 people, I go, if this goes wrong, remember it's your fault. And the face just dropped. And of course, it never goes wrong, but it's good fun. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a wee visualization exercise. I will do it with you as well. And producer, feel free if you want to join in as well.
Join in, Jambo.
Any queries or worries of what you think might happen, what's going to happen, any expectations at all before we start?
I'm
I'm
scared in
going
case I go to sleep and hit my head off this table.
Not going to come at your chair, you're going to stay completely relaxed. I'll make sure you're safe in every way. Any other queries?
I'm blank. I'm like going in on a blank slate.
Absolutely, and that is the best way. That's the best way to go for it as well. Remember, if nothing happens for you today, it doesn't mean that you can't be hypnotised. Dinner time tonight doesn't mean that you can't be hypnotised
Aye.
tomorrow.
Hypnotised over pork.
It's often very much like losing weight. It's a holistic approach. Okay, you might not consciously try to be thinking about anything, but if you're thinking about when's the time of this podcast going to finish? Am I going to hit my head off the table? What's happening for dinner tonight? What's my lineup for tomorrow? Does Fraser need to get away for a call? All these things will distract you and stop you focusing. Okay, so what I'd ask you to do is don't worry about the stresses of yesterday, today and tomorrow. Just focus on the here and the now. Nod your head if you understand. Excellent, cool. I want you to sit back in your chair, put your feet flat on the floor, shoulder width apart, put your hands in your lap. Excellent. And I want you to move away your microphones. You don't need to be talking right now, so everybody's just going to focus and listen to me. All the way there. Just to make sure nothing gets hit, so it's all out the way. And just make sure that you're comfortable enough that your arms can raise out in front of you and stuff like that without hitting the table and whatnot. Cool. That all right for you shot-wise? Cool. Excellent. Cool. What I want you to do is I want you to focus on a bit in the back wall just there. Put your hands flat in your lap and take a deep breath in with me. And out. Take another deep breath in. And out. Good. And one more deep breath in. And close your eyes and exhale now. I want you to focus on every single word that I'm going to say from the moment until I ask you to open your eyes. I'd ask you to come with an open imagination, and we're going to test and realise the intelligence actually of each and every one of yours imagination. Nod your head if you understand. Excellent, fantastic. I'm going to be speaking in what's known as hypnotic language patterns. To your conscious mind, it will make absolutely no sense, but to your subconscious mind, you'll see things in bright, vivid detail, almost like a virtual reality. I want you to understand that from this moment going forward, when I hypnotise people, it happens quick, it happens fast, already because you already are hypnotised. Now, in a wee moment, but not yet, when I count to 3, you're going to pop your eyes open, feeling wonderful in every single way, but feeling no different than what you already were. 1, 2, 3. Eyes wide awake. How did that feel? Absolutely fine. Excellent. Focus on that back wall. Take a deep breath in. Really focus on that point. Don't take your eyes off it. And exhale. And as you exhale, just exhaling all the worries, the troubles, the nerves, the pre-thing of everything what we had. Take another one in. And out. And on this last one, I want you to take it double as slow all the way in. Just lowering the heart rate and focusing on your breathing. And exhale. Just like that. Lovely. Excellent. I'd ask you, gentlemen, to place both of your hands out like this. I want you to turn your right hand, palm facing the ceiling like this. Excellent. Focus back on your spot and take a deep breath in. And out. Take a deep breath in. And out. Good. You're focusing and concentrating perfectly. As you take one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, close your eyes now. As you listen to the sound of my voice and the sound of my voice only, I want you to imagine right now that I'm sitting across from you, but in my hands I have a big book, like a big heavy book you'd find at the library, almost like an encyclopedia. Now, in a moment, when I count to 3, I'm going to come over and I'm going to place that heavy book onto your right hand, and you'll instantly and immediately, through the intelligence of your own imagination, start to feel the weight of that book. I want you to start to imagine me holding the book now, and as you imagine me holding the book, imagine how heavy it's going to feel. Now, this will feel heavy in your hand, and your hand might start to lower, and that's perfectly natural. Allow it to happen and want it to happen. You can choose to resist, but that's not why you're here. Just allow your imagination to take you and your thoughts and your feelings. Nod your head if you understand. I want you to focus on the book as I step over and get closer to you. At the count of 3, I'm going to place that book into your right hand at the count of 3. It will not startle you. You'll keep your eyes tightly shut until I ask you to open them. But I just want you to focus and give that book a colour as I start to get closer to your hand. Start to imagine how heavy that book will feel as I start to place it and getting closer and closer. 1, 2, 3. Placing that book as it starts to get heavier and heavier and heavier with your eyes tightly shut. I want you to imagine the front cover of that book, and as you imagine the title and the detail and the colours of the book, you start to feel that hand getting heavier and heavier and heavier. That's right, you're focusing and concentrating perfectly. And as you begin to beat every heartbeat and breathe in and out, that book will just continue to get heavier and heavier because it's sitting in your hand for a longer period of time. But through the intelligence of your own imagination, I want to draw your attention with your eyes completely shut to your left wrist. I want you to imagine now that I am tying a ribbon around your left wrist. And attached to that ribbon is the world's biggest helium balloon. And at the count of 3, I'm going to start to inflate that helium balloon. And because that helium balloon is not just like any other normal balloon, it's the world's biggest, I want you to imagine that helium balloon will start to float and lift high up into the sky as it inflates. And because that ribbon is attached to your wrist, your arm will just start to lift and rise and rise and lift. 1, 2, 3, now. As it starts to lift and rise and rise and lift, getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Imagine that going all the way up high into the sky. You will not get pulled out your seat, but you'll start to feel that arm start to lift and rise and rise and lift, getting lighter and lighter and lighter. That's right, you're focusing and concentrating perfectly. As you start to see that balloon getting bigger and bigger through your imagination, start to give it a colour and start to focus on the ribbon. As the ribbon starts to get all the way up high into the skies, you start to feel that arm pulling and tugging and tugging and pulling, and it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. And in a wee moment, I'm going to count to 3. By the time I count to 3, you'll almost feel as if the arm's almost pulling you out your seat. You will stay in your seat, safe, secure in every way, shape and form throughout this entire process. But you will almost feel as if that arm's just going to get even higher. 1, lifting and rising, rising and lifting. 2, lighter and lighter and lighter. As you allow it to happen and want it to happen and expect it to happen, by the time we get to this final number, that arm's going to be so high up into the sky, it's going to be vertical. 3, all the way up. That's right, lifting and rising and rising and lifting. And you can just continue to focus and concentrate and relax into the chair with that arm getting pulled higher and higher. If I come and talk to you or whisper any words in your ear, you'll know that I'm talking to you because my hand will be on your shoulder. You'll not be startled. This will be a very enjoyable experience. Nod your head if you understand. If I'm not touching you on the shoulder at that time, you can just continue to focus and ignore everything else going on around you and focus on that balloon getting higher and higher. As it starts to get lighter and lighter and lighter. Now don't worry if you hear me from the side to you, to the left of you or to the right of you. It doesn't matter exactly what my voice is or what you're hearing or what's going around you. You can just focus and concentrate at all times. Yes, I'm touching now. Take a deep breath in and slip calm down deeper and deeper and deeper. The deeper you go, the better you feel as you sink and drift and float. Yes, I'm touching now. Take a deep breath in and slip all the way down. Deep, deep sleep all the way down deeper and deeper. The person I'm touching now, you can just allow yourself to completely sink and drift and float. You can change your position as much as possible with your eyes tightly closed to make yourself more comfortable at any time. As we count down from 5 all the way down to 0, you're just going to allow yourself to become loose, limp, totally relaxed in every way, shape and form. 5, drifting, dreaming dreaming, floating. 4. The deeper you go, the better you feel. The better you feel, the deeper you go. That's right. You can move your arms or anything you need to fix with your eyes tightly closed to make yourself focus and concentrate and relax at any time. Change your position now to make yourself more comfortable with your eyes completely shut. That's right. You're focusing and concentrating perfectly as you sink and drift and dream and float, allowing every muscle, inch and fibre in your body to become totally loose, limp, totally relaxed as you relax every muscle in the back of your neck, to your mouth, to your nose, to your eyes as you take a deep breath in and sleep all the way down, drifting and dreaming, relaxing every muscle in your shoulders like a waterfall of relaxation is now drifting all the way down your arms, relaxing every muscle, inch and fibre from your chest to your stomach, to your thighs, to your knees, to your shins, relaxing all the muscles in your heels, to your feet, to your toes, and just let it go all the way down now. And I want you to imagine now that you're standing at the front of an elevator, and in a moment you're going to push the button to go right into the elevator. And as you step into the elevator, allow yourself and give yourself the acceptance just to sink and drift and go even deeper. As you push that button now, as the doors open, as you step all the way in, and you can just step in and go even deeper now. That's right. And as those elevator doors close, you can see 3 buttons in front of you. And I want you to understand and focus that you're on level 3, and by the time you get all the way down to level 1, you're going to be twice as deep and twice more relaxed than what you already are now. Nod your head if you understand. I want you to imagine now how amazing, incredibly safe and wonderful and warm it would feel to go even deeper and even more relaxed than what you already are. Push that number 2 now. And as you push that button number 2, start to feel the elevator slowly going down, and as that starts to go down, you go even deeper. Loose, limp, totally relaxed. As we get to the doors open, and the most amazing relaxation image is in front of you that's right for you, in your imagination and private to only you. As those doors get ready to close, understand you're going to go even deeper. Now, that's right. And as you do, I want you to imagine pushing that number 1 button. Now. And as you push that button, you sink and drift and float all the way down. Excellent. For both volunteers, I want you to understand from this moment going forward, anytime I and only I say the word sleep, you will instantly and immediately go back into this wonderful sense of relaxation we call hypnosis. You've learned to use your imagination in this most intelligent and relaxing way that when only I and I say the word sleep, you will instantly and immediately go back into this wonderful state of relaxation. You will stay completely safe and secure in your chair, but your eyes will close, your head will drop, and you'll just find yourself sinking and drifting even deeper, even more relaxed than you already are now. Any suggestion I give you from this moment going forward will sink into the deepest part of your subconscious mind. Every word I speak from this moment becomes your truth, and your truth becomes your reality. You'll believe every word that I say because every word that I speak is true, and this truth will become your reality. Nod your head if you understand. Excellent. You can just continue to sink and drift and float. In a wee moment, I'm going to count to 3, and you're going to pop your eyes open twice as deep into hypnosis, feeling fantastic in every way, shape and form. And you'll just focus on my hand. Nod your head if you understand. 1, 2, 3. Eyes wide awake. Focus on my hand here. Take a deep breath in and sleep. All the way down. Deep, deep sleep. Deeper and deeper. The deeper you go, the better you feel. The better you feel, the deeper you go. Excellent. Person I'm talking to now, Jamie, I'd like you just to place your right hand arm all the way up high into the sky for me now. And start to make a fist and lock that hand, get it tighter and tighter and tighter, almost if a steel bar is started cementing, concreting from your shoulder all the way to your hand. It keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter. The tighter it goes, the better you feel, the deeper you go. Next time I ask you to open your eyes, that arm is completely stuck rigid, stuck, completely glued, cemented. It cannot move. In fact, the more you try, the more you fail, because it's completely stuck. The more you try, the more you fail. Nod your head if you understand. The more this gets stuck, the better you feel, the deeper you go. Excellent. Person I'm talking to now, Evan. Next time I ask you to open your eyes, you've completely forgotten the number 3. Anytime I ask you to count, you will count 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 2, 1. That number that used to exist between 2 and 4 is completely erased from your mind, almost as if it's like a mind block. This might seem a little bit strange and a little bit funny, and that's absolutely okay. That's perfect. But anytime I ask you to count, you will count 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 2, 1. That number that used to exist, you can't even remember now because it's completely gone from your imagination, completely gone from your subconscious mind through the intelligence of your own imagination. The next time I ask you to open your eyes, that number has completely vanished. Nod your head if you understand. Apart from that, gentlemen, the next time I ask you to open your eyes, you're going to pop your eyes open, twice as deep into hypnosis, feeling fantastic in every way. 1, 2, 3. Eyes wide awake. Back in the room. Welcome back. How does that feel? You can bring your mics back now. You can bring your mics back. Oh, excellent.
Oh, man. That felt so relaxing.
That's good.
Aye,
Oh,
it
sorry.
really did.
Jamie, have you got a question?
Aye. Can I take this down? Can I try?
The more you try, the more you
Is that
feel.
alright?
Yeah? There
No.
you go. That's okay. How did it feel?
Aye, it feels weird. It feel locked there for a second.
Excellent. Just put your hands on your lap for me a second. Jamie, if you just keep your eyes focused here, take a deep breath in, sleep all the way down. That's it. Deeper and deeper. Deeper you go, the better you feel. Evan, excellent. Do you feel hypnotised? Or do you just feel relaxed?
I feel like very relaxed, and
What about Jamie? Do you think he's hypnotised?
he's hypnotised.
Jamie, 1, 2, 3. Eyes wide awake. Excellent. Cool. Do you think Evan's hypnotised?
Maybe.
Cool. Evan, how many fingers do I have in this hand?
5.
And how many do I have in this hand?
5.
And 5 plus 5 is?
10.
Excellent. So you're good at counting, right? You do me a favour, you just count your fingers for me. Just put your hands up like this and just count your fingers one by one for me.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
No, nice and loud for me. So
Oh.
just nice and loud so we can hear.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You got 11 fingers.
You've got 11 fingers.
What?
Try
Really?
again. Maybe
Try
maybe
again.
you made a mistake.
Count backwards, maybe.
Maybe you made a mistake. Try again.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1.
That's strange. Strange. So you have 5 fingers on one hand and 5 fingers on the other hand, right? And 5 plus 5 is
10.
we all have 10 fingers,
Mhm.
right? Strong and fast. Maybe you're just being a little bit silly. Try it.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Why do you?
You all right?
1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
There we go. There we go.
Came
Although
back.
the strangest thing happens when I tap you on the head, that number completely erases twice as deep. Watch. Gone. Completely vanished. Try again.
1, 2,
Keep going. Nice and
3,
fast.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Excellent. So a lot of people are asking me, remember we were talking earlier on about your conscious and your subconscious, about how things can stick and how some things won't stick as well.
Uh-huh.
Completely, whether you want to let that happen or not let that happen. But what will happen is if you just take a deep breath in and sleep all the way down below for you, deeper and deeper. The deeper you go, the better you feel. The better you feel, the deeper you go. As I count down from 5 all the way down to 0, you'll realise that with every number that I count down is going to double that sense of wonderful relaxation every way, shape and form. 5, sinking, drifting, floating. 4, all the way down. 2. The deeper you go, the better you feel. The better you feel, the deeper you go, completely sinking, drifting, sleep, all the way down. That's it, deeper and deeper. Sinking, drifting, dreaming. That's it. Just allow yourself to completely relax and sink and drift and float all the way down. Excellent. People I'm touching now, Next time I ask you to open your eyes, anytime you hear me say the word hypnosis, it will instantly and immediately feel like the person next to you has pinched you on the arse. You're going to almost leap out your seat and be wondering where it's came from, but you know it's the person sitting next to you. Anytime I say the word hypnosis, you will understand and discover now that anytime I say the word hypnosis, you feel as if somebody's pinched you on the bum, and you'll look to the person next to you and realise it's coming from them. You'll be very unhappy about it, but you will not make any physical contact. Nod your head if you understand. 1, 2, 3. Eyes wide awake. Excellent. Cool. Oh. So is it an enjoyable experience, or how does it feel?
Feels like meditating.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
It is. So like hypnosis is completely different for everyone, shape and form. Sometimes you will feel things happen and whatnot, but it's just when you do hypnosis, it completely changes. Does that make sense? So for one person you might believe something, for the other person you might not. Does that make kind of sense? Have you ever experienced hypnosis before?
No, I don't think so.
What's wrong? You're moving your legs there.
I don't know. I don't know.
Have you experienced hypnosis before?
I think right now,
What's
no before
wrong?
that, but oh fuck.
What's wrong?
I'm tensing my arse up a bit here.
Why?
Ready for it?
Why? What is it? Is it the hypnosis? What's going on?
I don't know.
What do you feel? Did he just touch you in the arse?
I feel like he's trying to.
I'm ready for it.
My arse is so tense.
Right, just relax, just relax. The amazing thing is, look at this hand here. Take a deep breath in. Hypnosis. What does that feel like? 1, 2, 3. Eyes wide awake. Hypnosis. What does that feel like, Evan? What, you feeling something?
No, I'm expecting it, but so
You're worried
I don't know
about
if I'm overthinking it. Maybe.
What's wrong with you?
Don't know. My arse is tensing up in that.
Aye.
Feel like.
Do you know why?
I feel like somebody's getting me.
Aye.
Getting you what? What do you
Getting
feel
me on the
happening?
arse.
What's happening? What with hypnosis?
Is that happening there?
What?
Aye.
Describe to me what's happening with hypnosis.
You feel like somebody's fucking pinching the arse.
Really? Aye.
A wee bit. I feel like I keep jumping up like.
Aye. Do you think it's me?
The amazing thing is, but it's incredible. And what you don't actually realise is that when you were in hypnosis earlier on, I actually put something on this that makes it electrical. So if you actually touch the table, you get like a wee electric shock. It's the weirdest thing. Look. Put your hand on it. Go. What does that feel like?
Fuck. My muscles are tensed.
Same.
How does it feel like? Touch it. What does it feel like? Feel the buzzing?
Oh,
You getting a wee buzz?
mate, put one hand on it and just sit it like that.
Now watch this. As you keep your
Can you
hand
feel
there,
it pure vibrating?
put your hand there and feel it vibrating. Focus on your hand, keep there. Now I want you to imagine now that hand is now concrete and cement and getting closer into the glass. It's now locked. That hand's stuck to the table, locked. The more you try and take your hand off, the tighter it becomes, the more stuck it becomes. As you focus on that hand is now glued, cemented. Now the more you try and take that hand off, the more stuck it becomes. It's almost as if I've put the world's stickiest super glue between your hand and the table. The more you try and take that hand off, the more stuck it becomes, because that hand is completely stuck to the table. Try and take your hand off, the more you try, the more you fail. The more you try, the more you fail. Try it now. Really try. The more you try, the more tighter it gets. Really try. That's okay. That's absolutely fine. Evan, how's yours?
I feel like when I'm trying to pull it back, it's sticking harder.
Yep, it will.
Can you?
There is a way to get that hand off the table. If you put your left hand on your head, your left hand becomes stuck. That hand releases. Look. That hand releases, but now that hand's stuck to your head, which is strange. The more you try, the more you fail. The more you try, the more you fail. In fact, the more you try and take the hand off, the tighter it gets. Really try. How does that feel?
Fucking weird. Am I going to... I've got dinner to make in that tonight, mate. Am I going to be...
But see, there is a way, and it only happens for 10 seconds. There is a release for this, and I'll show you. If you place your right hand out, yep, and just bring it over to the table, make a fist here. Now watch this. No, float it, just here. Yep, excellent. If you watch my hand, when my hand lifts, that hand lifts up and down, and then it gets faster and faster. And when I clip my fingers, you'll just not be able to stop it. It'll just do it all on its own. Look, happens all on its own. It gets faster and faster. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And if you do that for 10 seconds, what happens is that hand becomes released, but that hand can't stop. It's like it's a mechanic. It goes faster and faster and faster. Every time I click my hand, it gets faster. That's it, faster and faster. And you'll discover now, by the time I count from 3 all the way down to 0, that hand will become released, but that hand just starts going crazy. Watch this. 3, 2, focus on that hand. 1, it's going crazy now. That hand releases, but that hand now just can't stop.
Fuck.
I mean, the table's having a great time.
I do like that here.
Should I suck it?
All the way down. Deep, deep sleep, all the way down. Sleep, all the way down. Deeper and deeper. The deeper you go, the better you feel. The better you feel, the deeper you go. As you just count down from 3 all the way down to 1, you just feel yourself drifting. 3, all the way down. 2, 1, 0. Excellent. Person I'm talking to now, Evan, the next time you open your eyes, the only language you can speak is complete mouth out the tongue syndrome. And now when I say mouth out the tongue syndrome, what I mean is like your tongue's hanging out your mouth. The more you try and speak, the more your tongue falls out your mouth, just like blah, blah. Almost like you're speaking Martian or alien. It's the strangest thing. Now, you know what the English sounds like in your head, but the more you try and speak, the more your tongue falls out your mouth. The more you try and speak, the more your tongue falls out your mouth. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder. It might be quite funny, it's hilarious, and you'll try and ask me some questions, and you'll want to ask me questions, but the more you try, the more you fail. The more you try, the more you fail, the more the tongue hangs out your mouth. The more your tongue hangs out the mouth, the better you feel, Evan, and the deeper, more relaxed you become. Nod your head if you understand. Excellent. On 3, you can just pop your eyes open twice as deep. Your tongue has fell out your mouth. 1, 2, 3. Eyes wide awake, both parties. Wakey, 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 wakey. Feeling wonderful in every way. So, Jamie, how would you describe hypnosis for you? Because what happens is you're very good at relaxing, but obviously there's some suggestions that obviously your conscious mind doesn't want you to stick with, which is absolutely fine.
I think I'm like overthinking things and like things are coming into my head too much because
that's absolutely fine.
I've got a bit of an ADHD brain, so
That's
it's
all right.
hard to concentrate.
And Evan, what was it like for you?
Relaxing.
What's that?
Relaxing.
Relaxing. The more you try and speak, the more that just falls out. Sorry, ask it again.
Dreaming.
What's that? Sorry.
Dreaming. Like we're in a dream.
Excellent. And you had some fan questions for me earlier. What was that? Have you got them lined up?
The Discord questions, I can get them up and Evan can read a couple at the new.
You okay to read some to me, Evan?
Aye.
Just like 1 or 2. This is off the Discord, so it's been great.
In fact, Evan, if you were to look to the camera and tell everybody out there a quick paragraph on what hypnosis felt and what it was to you, just remember it gets more and more and more. Just tell them, just look right over and just tell them what it was like for you. If you
It's like doing a dream, but somebody is like guiding you through it.
Thank you.
It's good.
Jamie, the more we laugh, the more that falls out. It just keeps happening and happening. And in fact, when you shake my hand, you're totally aware what's happening, but it just falls out 10 times more. Look, it's the weirdest thing. Look, watch. Just keep talking. Look.
Stop it. Stop it.
The producers just ended it.
Are you alright, mate?
Aye, I think I'm going to Patreon now.
Going to Patreon question.
That's all aye.
You don't know where to go here.
Tell me,
It really feels like I don't want to put it back in my mouth.
Is it like you're scared?
Just for my own purposes, just tell me red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry.
There's all of them.
There's a wee smile at the end.
Because I can hear it myself, but I can't help it.
Oh, that's incredible.
That's mad.
Well, listen, let me just put my hat back on. What camera are we in? Are we on?
Yeah, that one.
We're going to be back with the Patreon questions right after this. Sleep. All the way down. I know we're still rolling, but we can cut this. You got any suggestions you like? Or should we wait them back up? In fact, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Eyes wide awake. Welcome back into the room. How's your tongue?
Good.
Good.
Feels good.
Perfect. Excellent. Cool. Now, amazing thing is, watch this. So, if you tap Jamie on the head, he goes straight to sleep. Do you want to be a hypnotist for a second?
I'll do it.
Excellent. So if you just tap him on the head, he'll go right to sleep all by himself. All the way down. Deeper and deeper. See, it's amazing. It's so easy to be a hypnotist. In fact, you're such a good hypnotist. If you just place your finger out like this, have you ever seen Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
power of the Force, the Jedi. Just turn your finger around. What's going to happen here is I want you to focus on the tip of your finger. When I click my fingers, that finger is going to become magnetized and it's going to start to drift and float to your head. Might seem small, but it's really, really powerful. I want you to try and resist this, Evan, but the more you resist, the stronger that magnet gets, because what's going to happen is when it touches you in the head, you'll just go right back to sleep. Do you believe me? Try and resist it. Try and resist it. The more you try, the stronger it gets. The more you try, stronger it gets. Look, there you go. It's getting closer and closer and closer. Click my finger. It's getting twice as strong now. All the way in. It's getting closer and closer. Really try and resist it. Really try. But the more you try, the stronger it gets. It's really going to, all the way there. Here we go. There we go. And sleep all the way down. Deep, deep sleep all the way down. So it's been absolutely... It's been incredible hypnotising the guys at Reilly's Gaff. I'm going to quickly remove the suggestions and then we'll ask the guys how it felt for them and we'll take some questions from you guys at home. So, Jamie and Evan, I'm speaking to both of you now. When I count to 5, all hypnotic suggestions will be completely removed in every way, shape and form, and you'll be back to your normal waking state. All suggestions will be completely removed. You'll be out of hypnosis 100%, back to your normal waking state. However, when I count to 5, I want the suggestions to stay with you for the rest of the week. When you wake up, you're going to feel like you've had 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep, feeling completely refreshed. You're going to feel like you've bathed your eyes in a fresh spring bath. You're going to feel the best version of yourself, feeling confident, not arrogant, but confident, and really comfortable in your own skin. And for the rest of the week, you're going to have the confidence to go ahead and achieve anything you want to achieve, because you will become the best version of yourself. Nod your head if you understand. This was a really enjoyable, amazing experience with both of you. And when I count to 5, you'll wake up with a big smile on your face. Let that suggestion sink into the deepest part of your subconscious mind. But when we get to that number 5, all other hypnotic suggestions will be completely removed. 0, familiarising yourself in the room. 1, feeling like you've bathed your eyes in a fresh spring bath. 2, remembering that when you wake up, you will become the best version of yourself. A big smile, feeling completely refreshed, relaxed and energised for the rest of today and the rest of the week. 3, all hypnotic suggestions are completely removed now in every way, shape and form. 4, feeling all the blood coming back into your muscles, to your body, feeling those eyes, orientating yourself back in the room. And 5, wide awake, back in the room. Gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause.
Well done.
Hell, mate.
Well done, us.
How was being hypnotised?
Right.
So,
Can I ask you some questions on it? Right, because I feel like I was like getting into this pure deep sleep, but then I was focused, like too many wee things were interrupting when I was trying to focus. But then, like, so I thought you were having the same experience as me, but could you hear everything Fraser was saying?
do you know what it was for me? It was more like, I was aware what was happening, but I couldn't. When I heard you say it, I would just be like, "Oh, I'm doing this." Do you know what I mean? It was like I didn't have a choice.
I remember I was speaking to you earlier on saying you can hear everything around you, but and everything feels normal, but you just choose to.
Like it's like
it happened to me with the arm thing. That was like actually felt mental, but then it started just crumbling a bit.
You'll see it on the edit later. Now, nobody's holding your hands or anything like that. How did your arm just start levitating all on its own?
I was right. Did yours do that as well with the balloon?
I was
and
like,
the book
what colour was
like,
your balloon? What colour was your balloon?
My balloon was red and my book was dark blue.
Right.
My balloon was yellow and my book was blue.
Awesome.
Aye, book was blue as well.
Mine was like a big. I don't know why.
Atlas.
Aye, that's what mine was.
Mine
Aye.
was like a dusty old professor's book.
Harry Potter or something.
Aye. But I know, but it felt like I can understand why, like how it could work with the therapy as well. Big time, man. Like,
It does.
because you're in that kind of thing. But you were doing all the stuff.
There's no
It
difference
was so
between
funny, the tongue thing.
positive messages or just your tongue falling out your mouth.
Aye.
The tongue thing was so, because I'm like, it was just there. Do you know what I mean? It was, in my head, I was like, I don't really have a choice to put this back in.
I lost it when you done it. It's like being in a dream. But it's like I couldn't believe it.
So you're more than happy to know now that it's not fake.
No, it's no fake.
No.
It's no fake. It's definitely different. No, I thought I would like come out it and be like, what was I doing? But I remember what I was doing. I just didn't have a
control.
What about you jerking off the table at one point? That was interesting.
Oh, fuck, I don't remind me of that, man. Fuck, I forgot about
I
that.
was up to last night,
We're
man.
talking about connections and the table just looked so clear.
The wood.
But I felt like there was some points at that because I really wanted it to be working on me.
So
like
you're trying too hard.
Remember
So I
we
think
spoke
I was-
about the more you want it, the more you distract yourself. Like,
Aye,
please
that's
work.
exactly what happened,
Well,
mate.
it's,
100%.
Yeah, but you were both great, and you can definitely be hypnotised, put you in another environment. And
I'll come to a
Maybe
show
because you're
soon.
thinking about being this being recorded and that, you're like thinking about
I wasn't really. I was thinking about how much I want to, like, oh, is it happening now and that, and do you know what I mean?
You're setting yourself false reality of expectations.
probably,
Well, you kind
aye.
of just went completely in with it.
No, that was brilliant, man.
No,
that was
good.
class, man. Right,
Absolute
troops. YouTube. We're finished. We're heading over to the Patreon. Remember, troops, there's going to be extended episodes. Fuck, you fucked my brain up, bro.
While you were sleeping, I already done the outro, but we'll go again.
Aye, right.
So in our Patreon, you can get an exclusive 30 minutes extra at the end of every podcast. So we're going to move on to that bonus
We're gonna get
content
down
now.
dirty.
So
Right.
that's where
Before we do, can I shamefully plug?
Of course,
Aye, of
fire
course,
away,
aye.
mate.
Oh,
Where can we find you?
okay, so you can find me on all social media platforms. On Instagram, it is Fraser Penman Hypnotist, and you'll see the World's Most Unique Hypnotist. TikTok, come see me at Most Unique Hypnotist, and on Facebook, it's World's Most Unique Hypnotist. I am touring this year around Scotland. The first show, I think, is Edinburgh Fringe Festival from the 15th of August until the 27th of August, and you can get tickets at the edinburghfringe.com.
We'll be there.
Gentlemen.
Amazing. Cheers, troops.